Hi guys, it's Hani here, and today I'm gonna show you how I made this fall inspired gingerbread house. Isn't it adorable? I love how this turned out, and I'm also super excited to be collaborating with Amber of Sweet Am's. Amber is sharing on her channel how to make this beautiful Wizard of Oz gingerbread house, and link to her tutorial is in the description box under the video. And now let's get started. I'm going to start by making the shingles for the roof panels. On a piece of wax paper I placed a large stencil, and now I'm spreading a medium thick layer of navy blue thick royal icing. You don't want the shingles to be too thin, because then they will break easily, but you don't want them to be too thick, so like a medium thickness. And then repeat that about 2-3 times, just so you have enough shingles in case some of those break. Let it dry completely, and then you can remove the wax paper and store the shingles or these little decorations for later in an airtight container away from direct sunlight and moisture. And now we're gonna make shaped leaves. So I shaped the leaves using rolled up pieces of parchment, and I baked them like that, and you can see they are nicely shaped. And now we're going to add some color to them. So I'm using about 10-second consistency royal icing, and I colored it in various colors. I used yellow, green, red, and you can also use some orange if you'd like. And then use a food paintbrush and brush it onto the leaves and marble the colors together so they look like fall leaves. Let it dry completely, and this will take maybe an hour or so, because this is a really thin layer of royal icing. And then you can either leave them as they are, or you can use edible marker and draw the leaf veins with edible marker. This is a fine tip edible marker made by Rainbow Dust. And these will be decorations that I will use on the house. Now, as far as the house panels, I'm starting with the roof panel, adding a thin layer of navy blue 10-second consistency royal icing. Remember, repeat this on the other roof panel. You have 2 roof panels. The side panel, it's going to be decorated and having a little window there, so I'm using white royal icing, spreading it thinly, and then with orange icing, while the white is wet, I'm painting a small pumpkin in the window. So this is a really easy way and fast way to get some design on your cookie. Don't wait for the icing to dry, and just use a brush and add some nice detail like this cute little pumpkin. If you make a mistake, don't worry, just add some color and cover it up a little bit like I'm doing here, and then let it dry. Once it dries, you can outline and flat the whole side panel. I'm using white royal icing, about 15 to 10 second or 10 to 15 second consistency. And you have to repeat this on the other side as well. So you have 2 roof panels, 2 side panels, and 2 back and front panels. They are the same shape. Alright, so once this is iced, you have to let it dry completely. Now I'm going to mix a little bit of pearl luster dust and blue luster dust, and with dry paintbrush I'm just going to add some shimmer to the window. Again, make sure that everything is dry here, and then we can add the frame. To add the frame, I'm first using my scribe, dividing the frame into sections so I know where to start piping. I'm using navy blue royal icing, about 20-second consistency. If you don't have navy blue food coloring, what you can do, you can color your royal icing with royal blue and then add some black to it until you're happy with the shade of navy blue. Now I'm going to fill each little section. Don't forget the frame, and then with a scribe tool accentuate the corners and smooth the icing, and then you have to let this crust. And once it's crusted, we can take white royal icing. You can see I'm using a tip. This is a PME tip 1.5, really great for fine lines. And I'm just going to divide the whole thing into sections with straight lines. To make the front panel, we're going to have some cute little door there. So I'm using some white royal icing, spreading it thinly on the window pane. And then you can ice the cookie with white royal icing. I'm using a large scribe because I find it moves the icing faster than a fine tip scribe, so especially with gingerbread houses it helps to smooth the icing faster. On the front door I'm going to have a small wreath, so on a piece of parchment, you can use wax paper too, pipe the wreath, and then we can finish the door. For the door I'm using again navy blue royal icing. This is about 15-second consistency here. Use the scribe to smooth it and to shape the corners, and then you have to let it dry completely. Now I'm using a small cutter and a scribe, scratching the surface of the royal icing, giving me an outline for the lamp. I'm brushing some gold luster dust and orange luster dust on dry icing, and then we can pipe the lamp over it. To make the lamp I'm using black royal icing, about 20-second consistency. It can be slightly thicker, that's fine. Now shape it with a scribe, and then we can make the lines. This is 20-second consistency, so it dries or crusts a bit faster than thinner icing, so give it maybe 5 minutes or so before you add this section here, and then don't forget to repeat that on the other side of the door. To decorate the top I'm going to create a large triangle and then divide the bottom just like we did on the side panel. Remember, I made all those lines there, so you want to make the lines like that on the front panel, and I'm also going to do those on the back panel. And this should be about piping consistency or around there, maybe slightly thinner, it's fine. Alright, so almost done with that. Now we can finish the door. So for the door we're going to start with the keyhole and then outlining the window pane. I'm using the scribe to create outlines for the panes here, and then using navy blue outline like so. And lastly we're going to outline the whole door, and then we can add our cute little wreath. Glue it on with some royal icing and then gently place it on there. To decorate the top, the triangle I was talking about, I'm going to divide it into 3 beams, and I'm piping a zigzag line in the middle. This is going to help prevent cratering, so make sure that you let that crust, and this line is going to keep icing from sinking, creating cratering in your royal icing. Alright, so after this the front panel is pretty much done, and we can move on the back panel. So the back panel we're going to ice everything with white. Now if you decide to display this house, let's say on your festive Thanksgiving table, it might be a good idea to do the back panel same way as you did the front panel, just so all the guests have a look at the front panel. To decorate the back I'm also going to use a wreath. This wreath can be made ahead of time. It's super easy to make. You can just place a piece of wax paper or parchment and use a round cutter to trace the circle, and then use black or brown royal icing to pipe the base, and then attach cute little sprinkles. These are from Wilton, super adorable, and then let it dry completely. Once dry, remove it from the backing paper and carefully place it in the palm of your hand, pipe the glue icing on the back, and then turn it over and gently place it on the panel. To make the lights, I'm using light orange, then dark orange, and then in the middle I'm going to add light orange and then marble it a little bit. This is a really small cookie, and then add some yellow. You can see I'm holding it with tweezers. And now we're going to build the house, my favorite part. So I'm using thick foil icing to glue the panels together. What I like to do is building the base first, letting it dry for about 4 hours or so, even longer if I have time, and then attach the roof. This way the base is stable and your panels are not going to get misshaped, or your house is not going to fall apart. Then you can see underneath there I have a rubber liner. This is going to be great because I'm going to use skewers to support the roof panels so they're not sliding while drying, and the rubber liner works great so the skewers are not sliding. And then you can start decorating the roof panels. Remember the shingles we made in the beginning of the video? So I'm gonna be using those to decorate the roof panels. Aren't they pretty? I love how these look and how these turned out. I am using thicker royal icing to glue the shingles. Avoid using thin royal icing because your shingles are going to start sliding. So thicker icing is highly recommended for this step because you can see the roof is on an angle, so the gravity is going to eventually, if you're using icing that is too thin, let the shingles slide, so they will fall off. So make sure that you use thicker icing. And then continue up the roof. At the very top there was a section that I didn't know how I'm gonna decorate, but I realized the stencil was brilliant because it actually created this section naturally with the stencil, so it worked out really well. Otherwise I would say you can use another decorative element to cover that up. Now I'm going to break off some of the stencils that are on the edges, like so. And then we're just going to use a decorative border. I'm using a large star tip here, and also on the roof panels. And then on the front you can use a smaller star tip. This is a number 16. Pipe the swirls like this, and also decorate the bottom with another pretty border. After this, let it dry for about an hour before you start adding the leaves, just so you don't accidentally mess up the borders. Don't cover up the whole roof with the leaves because this roof is so beautiful, but just add them here and there and leave some leaves to place around the house as well for your display. Now we can attach those cute little pumpkin lights we made. Again, use thicker icing for the glue so they don't fall off. Now I'm gonna connect them with a line of icing. Here is the finished fall inspired gingerbread house. I love how it turned out. It kind of reminds me of a farmhouse. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And also don't forget to check out Sweet Am's and Amber's tutorial on how to make this beautiful Wizard of Oz gingerbread house. Link is in the description box under the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified about my new uploads. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.